In Disney's Oz the Great and Powerful, Sony Pictures Imageworks created digital set extensions for both the exterior environments as well as the interior rooms. For the entrance to the treasure room, the on-set practical walls were replaced to give us more creative control of the set extensions. We kept the best of both worlds, giving actors something to interact with while performing and giving a real piece of the set for the director of photography to light, but leaving flexibility in post to achieve the design vision. Construction of the digital treasure room interior started from concept artwork by Robert Stromberg's team, both with digital concept illustrations as well as architectural blueprints. Visual effects artists resolved these two sources and also made additional design choices based on examining the 3D volume and also seeing how the lighting affected the look. The room was then filled with over 2 million CG coins. Coins were piled and in some cases angled towards camera so that they gave just the right amount of reflection and sparkle. Hundreds of other digital treasure objects were built and dressed in the same way an on-set dresser would work, adding everything in, even the kitchen sink. The Dark Forest in Disney's Oz the Great and Powerful was designed not only to be shrouded in foreboding, but still to allow Oz and the other characters to be seen. The story required that we see only the eyes of the looky-loo creatures without revealing their vine-like bodies. At the same time, we still want to see the haunted environment. Artists at Sony Pictures Imageworks achieved this by creating a digital forest and controlling the set dressing and lighting design layer by layer. The forest included dozens of trees, plants, and thorny roots. Low-lying fog helped fill empty pockets of the volume, as well as giving bright areas of composition to silhouette foreground creatures in action. Because Oz and the monkey interact with the hat, precise choreography was required during the blue screen photography phase. As the looky-loos are revealed, the benefits of their design are shown. Their organic texture blends into the environment, featured by the warm lighting that emanates from them. In Disney's Oz the Great and Powerful, we are first introduced to Chinatown as a wide-angle reveal. As Oz and Finley go in for a closer look, we see a destroyed small-scale porcelain city.
What happened here?
Chinatown was partially built as a practical set. Sony Pictures Imageworks extended the set to fill in blue screen areas and integrated the digital landscape. High dynamic range photography was used to capture light positions, intensities, and color temperatures. This imagery shows a 360-degree panoramic view of the practical set. To achieve the artistic vision for Chinatown, digital versions of buildings and structures were modeled, painted, and placed to integrate with or sometimes even replace practical versions. Artists took care to use reference provided by the production design and specific art direction as inspiration for their own designs. To give a sense of life and added 3D depth, we added moving grass and landscaping, water, rising smoke, atmosphere, blowing porcelain dust, and light beams. There were many subtle art direction choices, down to the speed and movement of the windmill arms. As our heroes in Disney's Oz the Great and Powerful go on their bubble voyage, we see them emerge from below an ethereal cloud line. Sony Pictures Imageworks designed and built this fully digital cloud environment inspired by other production artwork. The recurring Oz design theme of land bridges, together with tests of filling arbitrary shapes with clouds, resulted in a skyscape design with arching clouds that not only provide a sense of depth, but also a magical presence. We first see Glinda, played by Michelle Williams, as she emerges from a wispy cloud bank. She was shot on a blue screen stage while standing on a platform with limited movement. To create the feeling that Glinda's moving through space, a winch and cable-driven camera rig flew past Glinda's stationary platform. To create the magical bubble around Glenda, we first shot reference of practical bubbles and developed the look for digital versions. Here you can see the layers of outer reflection, interior reflections of Glenda, and iridescence that are used together with a passive refraction to give the final look. Our CG characters' looks are also the result of a composite of multiple lighting passes. Here on China Girl, we see passes for rim lighting, specular, key, and fill lights. Although Finley has the additional complexity of fur and feathers, he has a very similar lighting setup. Like Glenda, Oz was shot on a blue screen stage. A special harness and bubble rig was created to allow James Franco to react to the unstable feeling that would exist for a person in a giant bubble. To put Oz in the shot, artists painted out the bubble rig and selectively patched in pieces of a digital double. Oz also receives a similar bubble treatment to Glenda, but with the added detail of bulges and ripples that would result from his frantic motion. Soon after Oz finds himself transported from Kansas, he and his balloon enter the Jagged Peaks environment. To create this part of the land of Oz, artists at Sony Pictures Imageworks custom-built digital models of a canyon. Starting from a simple blue screen element of Oz in a basket, the artists created numerous details, filling the depth from the camera to the farthest point in the scene. The water effects required multiple layers of foam, spray, mist, and detailed splashes to achieve the desired visual complexity. Our design theme was to bring volume and detail to all our computer-generated environments. The depth of the canyon was accented by layering details of atmosphere, clouds, snow, and light beams. While backgrounds often relied on concept artwork ideas and matte paintings, the closer we got to camera, the more important the visual effects design choices became, and the more critical the fine effects details like mist became. Even though the shots designed for a specific camera view, the foreground simulations take into account the full three-dimensional volume. Water flows around rocks and other geometry, and those features create realistic turbulence. This, and the surrounding environments, were based on the world imagined by Robert Stromberg, but also embellished and art directed by the talented artists at Sony Pictures Imageworks.
Hey, Lisa here with some behind-the-scenes facts for you. The character of Gollum in Lord of the Rings was digitally created by using 13 cameras pointed at different sensors attached to actor Andy Serkis's costume. Now, the high-speed Phantom camera used in The Hurt Locker from 2008 had a capability of 2,000 frames per second. Now, keep up to date with all the latest releases by subscribing to our channel and checking the notification bell. See you next time.